Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today will be the NTU Transfer Admission Virtual Information Session. And if you haven't registered now, you can scan the QR code and log into our Google form to sign up first, because we will send relevant information later. So it's better for you to sign up in our Google form first so we can reach out to you. Okay. So, okay. So basically, today's sharing will include why NTU. We will be briefly introducing National Taiwan University to all of you. And the next part will be exploring NTU. So basically, in this part, we will share more about the NTU campus resources and and the lab and the facility we have. And we will invite two of our current students who use transfer application to join in our big community. So the first one will be Jason from Malaysia. So he is currently studying in the veterinarian medicine department, and he's in grade 3. And then the next one will be Sharon, and she's from Indonesia, and she's currently in the Department of Economic, and she is also from the 3rd grade. Okay. So after our brief introduction, the next part will be all about application. So for this part, I will invite my colleague Eunice from the admission team. So she will dive deep into the application procedures, process, and extra. And our student will be sharing about their application tips and how they prepare, etc. So it will be a very exclusive about the information. So for the QR code in the right side, it will be a website which lists to an app called Slido. So basically, you log into this website and type the code. You can just first ask your question over there during our presentation, but at the end, we will be answering it one-on-one. So using this app, everyone can clearly see the question on the slide, so they can listen at once. So we feel like it's more convenient in that way. So please also scan this QR code and add into the Slido app. Okay. So we will start for like 2 more minutes later to wait for more people to join in. So for now, you can first scan the QR code and think about what questions you're going to ask later. So now we will continue in our presentation. Okay, so first there's a short video. Okay, so I will start with the location of NTU campuses. So basically, our main campus is located in Taipei. So most of our students will be staying in our Taipei campuses, but we also have several other campuses scattered in the island. So first of all, for the downtown campus, the College of Public Health and also College of Medicine, they will go into this campus because it's located near the NTU hospital. So it's more easy for them to do internship or conduct research over there. And we also have other campuses, including Zhubei and Yunlin, and they have other functions. And there's a famous research site situated in the mountains. So it's the experimental farm and forest. So if your major is related to bioresources, agriculture, animal science, extra, you will go to the farm to do other internship. So all of these campuses actually add up to 1% of total area of Taiwan. So our students enjoy a lot of different resources and they have a lot of space to go around. And for the main campus of Taipei, it's situated in central Taipei next to Gongguan MRT station. So you can easily travel around with MRT routes and also bus stations. So it's really easy for our students to go to, for example, shopping district. And also if they wanted to go to the mountains to hike or go to the beaches, it's also really easy to get to. Okay. So for the next part, I will also like to highlight the key aspect of NTU. So first of all, we have a really high reputation. This year we ranked 26 in Asia and 68 around the globe. And also we have a really comprehensive discipline with 7 colleges in total. So under it, we have 58 departments and 148 graduate institutes. So there are actually a lot of programs for you to choose from. No matter what your interest might be, you'll be able to find a pioneer environment for your study. And we also strive to establish more connections. So we have a lot of partner institutions as our partner around the globe. So these partner institutions actually create a lot of different study abroad opportunities. So later on, I will mention more in details later. And we also have a really vibrant campus life with a lot of student associations and also clubs and also sports teams for you to join. And within other resources, we actually have a really affordable university tuition fee. Later on, I will also elaborate more on that. Okay, so for this presentation page, I've listed the university which have the similar ranking as NTU does. So this is only for your reference. And for the student body, it's actually really vast and diverse. So we have more than 34,000 students in total within a really balanced one-to-one undergraduate to graduate ratio, which shows that we are actually a research-led university. And among them, about 10% of them are from foreign countries. So there are international students from 86 different countries. So actually, you can learn in a really global environment in NTU. And with our long history, we actually create a lot of distinguished alumni in many different fields. So for example, for international award winners, we have Dr. Yuanze Li, who was in the Department of Chemical Engineering, and he won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1986. And also for all the presidents from Taiwan, in Taiwan is actually from NTU, including Qing Lai and Tsai Ing-wen. And we also have a lot of different writers. And for private companies, we also have a lot of pioneers and innovators in different industry, different fields. So for example, the chairman of TSMC, Dr. Mark Liu, is from the Department of Computer Science and Information and Engineering. And also the famous Media Tech, we also have a alumni from there. It's the Mr. Rick Tai from Department of Physics. So actually, these alumni go back to NTU a lot to give respected talks, so our students can directly receive our experience from them through the talks. Okay. Okay. So the next part, I will invite our students to share about their motivation, their transfer motivation, and also give a brief self-introduction.
All right. Hello, everyone. So I'm Jason. So let me start with a brief introduction of myself. So for me, I'm a Malaysian people. I used to study at like a University of Tzu. It was a university at Hualien. And during that time, I was like a department of life science. And about 1.5 years ago, I decided to transfer to like NTU on the Department of Veterinary Medicine. So why do I do that? So, well, first of all, like as as I will as most of people know, NTU was like a #1 ranking of like Taiwan, and Tzu University at the time was like, I'm not trying to throw shade, but like the ranking was a bit much more lower. So in terms of resources wise and in terms of education, obviously NTU are much more better. So I was in that uni, then I was feel like there's something lacking off. Then I'm hoping that I could like do something much more. So I'm doing about like 1.5 years ago, I decided to research about like how can I transfer, and I got the chance to look up at NTU. Then secondly about it, was like as for I mentioned, it was a university at Hualien. Hualien was much more a bit like urban area. Like people there are much lesser. So the total student number about that uni was like only roughly 3,000 people compared to NTU, which was like I believe for 34,000 just now it was show. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more compared to my previous university. So when I'm transferred to here, I was also trying to hoping to meet like new people and more people, and especially people from other fields. So actually we can do some like exchange about like our field. Then at the last, like especially like I say I will get transferred to the Department of Veterinary Medicine. It's obvious because I like animal too. And during my previous department, I didn't got the chance to like get in touch with all these animals. Yeah. So okay, now let's give like a chance to the other student to share about their experience.
Hi, everyone. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Sharon, and I'm a third-year student in the Department of Economics in National Taiwan University. And so before in my first year, sorry, I was in Taichung. I was in Tonghai University, and now, okay, so yeah, so in my first year, I was in Tonghai University studying applied mathematics, and now I'm an economics student. So, what were my transfer motivation and reasons? Actually, why did I decide to pursue like a different major? So basically, back then, my major was applied mathematics, right? So actually, like, there's a fun fact, like, before coming to Taiwan, I already kind of knew that I wanted to, transfer to NTU, like, for these reasons. Like, I've always wanted to get the chance to live in Taipei because Taipei is the capital city of Taiwan, right? So it's like very lively and everything. And back then in Taichung, I would say Taichung is also like a city, but it's not as big. I think it's not as big as Taipei. It's not as like there are not so many people in Taichung. So in Taipei, it's definitely more lively, and there are like more, I would say like more tourist attractions, something like that. So back then, my biggest motivation to transfer to NTU was to actually get the chance to live in Taipei. And then the reason why I chose economics is because during the transfer application, actually, unfortunately, the Department of Mathematics was not open for transfer applications. I think they didn't have like the quota, so I saw like other departments that I was interested in, and economics was definitely something that I was interested in. And the economics department in NTU is also English taught, so that is also a plus point because at that time I would say like my Chinese proficiency wasn't like that good. And in my first year, in my applied mathematics major, it was also Chinese taught, so I had some like problems following the material in class. So now that I'm in an English taught program, I feel like it's much easier for me to understand the materials, the courses. There are a lot of English taught courses. And then over here, I also wrote that there are many English and Chinese taught courses in NTU, right? So the academic program here is also very, very rich. There are not just a lot of Chinese taught courses, but many English taught courses that are interesting, from like general education, liberal education, and general electives, or even like electives from the department. From my department, economics department, there are a lot of English taught courses. I'm sure in other departments are also quite a number of English taught courses. And also in NTU, you can apply for minor or like a double major program, something like that. And I've also even heard like a program where you can sort of design your own major in the academic advising office. So that's also very interesting for like bachelor's degree. And then again, just like Jason, I want to meet new people. I want to expand my network because being able to go to NTU, being able to go to the #1 university in Taiwan means you get the chance to meet like amazing people here, and also the opportunities like internships and like internships mostly, and like the chance to like maybe experience like being a volunteer in some like organizations, something like that. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm back. So basically, that's the first part of our sharing. And next part will be more about the resources at NTU. So I will begin with the learning and research resources. So basically, we have a lot of different resources. For example, we have a lot of resources for practical learning or hands-on experience. So we have the NTU experimental farm, forest, and also greenhouse, even just inside our Taipei main campus. And there are also all kinds of hospital. For example, NTU Hospital is for people, and also cancer center. And we also have other kinds of hospital, including plant teaching and also a veterinarian one for animals. And other than that, we have all kinds of research centers in different fields with more than 100 in all levels, like international, national, university, and college departments level. So there are actually a lot of different laboratories for our students and faculty to use. So basically, if you wanted to know more about our lab or the current research fields that our professors are working with, you can go to the NTU Lab Spotlight website. So I believe our other staff already post the related link in our chat box, so you can watch out. So there are also a lot of other information for international cooperation within research fields with other countries. So you can go on our website to find out more information. Okay, so the next part will be about the libraries. So for first, the NTU Main Library is the famous landmarks in NTU. So basically, you walk from the main gate of NTU inside, and you pass the NTU Boulevard, and you can see the main library in the end of the Boulevard. And also, we have other college and department levels libraries. So this includes a lot of different spaces for students to browse through research materials, and they also offer extensive collection in there. And you can also relax between classes. So there are a lot of different things that students can do in our library. Okay. So the next part, we also have the NTU Sports Center and track and field in our campus. So it's actually really easy for you to find a different sports, and there are a lot of spaces for you to try different sports. And for the health center, we care really a lot about our health, the health of our students. So if you feel unwell, you can just simply make an appointment at the health center, and you can see the doctor easily with a really cheap price. And if you need like advice within like academic or career, you can go to a certain office as well. And also about the accommodation, this is also the key facts that students care a lot about. So we have 21 dorms in total, so there are a lot of spaces. And we have different room types, including if you wanted to live on your own or you want to have roommates, it's also possible. So overseas students are prioritized to live on campus. Okay. So as I mentioned before, we established a lot of connections with other top-notch institutions around the world. So that actually create a lot of study abroad opportunities. So for the first one will be the Popular Exchange Student Program. So actually, there's limited chances to go there, and our students can broaden their horizons, experience different cultures, or polish language skills. So it's really popular, and you just have to pay only NTU tuition fee. So if you go to a high economic country, for example, the US or Denmark, extra, it's a really good bargain. And we offer a lot of scholarships, and you can transfer some graduation credits back. And so this contract will be within one semester or a year, differs to different contract. So actually a really good opportunity for our students. And more than that, we have other dual degree programs within different university or within different college or department. So there are more information in our study abroad website. And we also provide a lot of short-term programs, things like research programs, etc. So there are a lot of different opportunities. Okay. And also, I think we also strive a lot like to create opportunities for our students to know their future career early so they can explore first. So for the last one will be the NTU International Mentorship Program. So for this program, we send students to international companies or local companies inside Taiwan. So they can actually have mentors which is usually managers or C level executive, which already work in those companies for a long time to actually assist them during their whole internship experiences. So this is also a really popular program. And for the right one will be the NTU Overseas Internship Program. So for this, we send students to a lot of different companies around the globe, include Ashus in Thailand or Kew Gardens in the UK. So it's also a really great opportunities. And these are the companies we're currently working with. Actually, they are more on the website. And we included a public and civic sector, for example, the government organizations or different NGOs. And for private sector, they are more like world-renowned companies. So this is for your reference. Okay. And you're also able to have a part-time jobs in Taiwan. So if you apply for the work permits, we also have a lot of working opportunities. So there's actually no limitation during summer and winter break, but for semester, there's a limitation of 20 hours per week. So the famous, like popular working opportunities on campus will be, for example, teaching assistant in certain courses, or lab assistant, or you can even be a student ambassador where there are visitors from all around the globe to visit NTU. So there are a lot of interesting job. Okay. And for our vibrant campus life, there are actually more than 400 student clubs in total within different categories and a lot of different sports teams, student associations. So you can actually get it together with the people who have the same interests as you, like a lifelong connection, or actually meet good friends. Okay. So the next part will be our current student sharing the highlights of their excellent NTU life.
Alright, hi everyone, it's me again. So now it's my time to share about my the highlight of my NTU life. So for starter, just now I said NTU have a lot of resources, especially for my department wise. We have a hospital of our own, and it's actually really close, just beside the NTU Cancer Research Center, which is like a 5 to 10 minute walk from my department. And during the semester, we got a lot of chance to visit the hospital by ourselves. And like I said before, I'm really love animal. So I have a lot of chance to see different amazing animals here. Like this kind of picture here, you can see that we have sea parrot, turtle, dogs, and cat usually. I even got a chance there. I'm pretty sure I saw a llama there before, but I didn't got a chance to take a picture. But it was really amazing. But coming up next, so like I said, I'm from the Department of Life Science, so I was doing a lot of research with my professor before in my previous university. So eventually, when I come to NTU, I decided to proceed the route of research, which why I joined another lab, which was a neuroscience behavior lab. Yeah, I think we do the experiment on mice to test out like some brain stuff, like it's complicated. And I joined it on my second semester at NTU, and I was able to come up with a result that I can publish on a conference, like an international conference at University of Tokyo. So it was on my last semester, which also like my second semester. Oh yeah, it's third semester. Yeah, my third semester, I was able to fly into Tokyo for my department to give like a what called presentation about a poster about my research topic. And on the picture there, you can see that some of the picture I take. And like the person beside me was my professor, Professor Xiao from the veterinary department. And like the bottom left was like University Tokyo veterinary hospital. I was really proud to be there that time, and like cause it was never done before, like a bachelor student that ever to achieve that. Then other than that over that side, oh wait, let me add out something. So just now, like it was mentioned that you can do a lot of work study at like NTU. Also, as well, I was doing like a research assistant there, so I got some earning as well. So coming up next is like NTU. NTU have a lot of like club. And it's not limited for any student to join only one club. If you have the ability, you can join like 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as your time management is good. So as for my case, I joined 2 clubs like already. And continuously for almost 3 semesters, I haven't like left the club yet. So one of the club was like a NTU tutor club, which is a interesting thing that actually we don't do tutor, we don't do private tutor. But in case we do like social service learning, that we're going to do like some elementary school, like urban elementary school around Taipei, New Taipei City. Then we provide some classes to like a student there. Like so, for example, on the top left second photo, you can see there's me teaching like the kids how to make like I think it's creme brulee for the class. We do teaching class. Or like a picture from the top right also. The one we are doing macaroni for like a student. Then other than that, I also joined another club which was the NTU Traveler Club that we do a lot of traveling around Taiwan. We even go to international place. Like last year I was able to host like a trip like on the club that I bring about 10 of my friends to travel to my home country Malaysia, and it was like a 7-day 6-night trip. It went really well, like everyone enjoyed it as well. Then other than that, there's also like occasionally some other event. Like for example, the top picture from counting from the right, like the second one. There is some like overseas Chinese student ceremony they will celebrate each at the end of each year. You got to like experience like show, amazing food, and I meet a lot of new people there. And we are really cheap price for like about 100 Taiwan dollar, and you can just be there. It's really fun, I would say. So yeah, coming up next, we let Sharon to share about her experience.
Okay, so here are some pictures of my experience at NTU. So far, let's start off with the academic freedom. So at NTU, there are a lot of different courses that you can choose. So in my first year, I think in the first semester, I remember taking a course from NT.Edu, so the National Taiwan Normal University, which is also one of the sister universities of NTU. And I took a course on Introduction of Astronomy, and that was also really interesting because you can take courses from like other universities too. And also in this picture, that is another course that I tried actually. I went to like the first class, like the second class, for a few classes of that course, and that's a master's, kind of like a master's degree course, which is open to bachelor's degree students. So I think that's also very interesting that you can do that. So for like bachelor's degree students, if you guys are interested in learning something very in depth or trying to study like maybe topics that are maybe covered in master's degree, you could try like taking these master's degree courses. And also my second experience is I didn't really include a picture here, but I think I did actually in the next slide. So I'm just going to go to the next slide first. Okay, so the picture at the top here, that's when I joined the ICL, or the International Companions for Learning program. So this is actually, this program is not just open for NTU students. Actually, I believe it's open for the entire, the whole of Taiwan, even like other countries too. So basically, it's like a program financed by the Ministry of Education where we get to do cultural exchange with like Taiwanese students, elementary school students. So this is our picture, me and basically my batch of kids at that time in Chiayi. And that was also my first time going to Chiayi, Taiwan. And it was also subsidized. It was also 100% free, actually not subsidized. It was 100% free. I went there and it was 100% funded by the ICL program, International Companions for Learning. That's really interesting. So you can check that out, the program. And next is, I want to talk about IMP. So I think it was already like mentioned, IMP stands for the International Mentorship Program. Now this is also, when you come here, when it comes to NTU, this is also a program that I feel like cannot be missed because it's an internship program where we can connect with our mentors. I have a lot of friends who have applied for it even from their first year. I'm in my third year now and I'm only just applying for this this year, like for the summer. So wish me luck. And yeah, next is the INGO. It's also similar to IMP, International Non-Governmental Organizations. It's similar, but it's more focused on NGOs instead of corporate. So it's more focused on like volunteer work, something like that, and work that has an impact like social service, something like that. And also study abroad, which was also covered in the previous slides. So study abroad as in like exchange, so you can go on an exchange to other like universities abroad. I have friends who have gone to Germany, basically European universities, and some of them even got like scholarship, so that's really cool. And they only just as mentioned before, they only paid like the NTU tuition fee, so that's really cool. And they got to travel around Europe. And okay, and next is student clubs. Again, just like what Jason mentioned, there are a lot of student clubs in NTU, like hundreds of them, I believe, and you can join a lot of them. And my experience in my first year in NTU, basically my sophomore year, my third semester, I joined two clubs. I joined Peking Opera. So it's some sort of Chinese opera, like Beijing opera. That was really interesting. I wanted to try something different, something that I've never had before. I mean, I've never seen before in my country, like Beijing opera. And it was really tough. So I only joined for one semester. And I also joined a singing club. It's called NTU Pop Music. I didn't really include a picture here, but it's called NTU Pop Music. It's really fun. It's where you get together with the Taiwanese students, where you get to sort of mingle with the locals, and like learn how to sing pop songs, sing Mando pop songs like that. And also this picture right here is the current club that I'm joining, that I've joined since last semester. It's the NTU Musical Club. It's like, if you like Broadway, if you like the West End or like musicals, something like Disney, this is your club. It's really interesting. And I'm the only foreigner here, actually. Everyone else is Taiwanese. So it's also a chance for me to practice my Chinese and like make Taiwanese friends, mingle with the locals. And it's really, really fun socializing with them and performing. Also, we get to have like performances. And next, also speaking of performances, I love to sing, right? Singing is also one of my passions. So at NTU, it's not just academic that is like very rich. It is also rich in like something like carnival, like festival, something like that. And this is also the World Carnival Festival that happens every year, and that's also like highly anticipated. We get to see stands of like different food made by students from all over the world, and that's really fun. And last year I got to perform an Indonesian pop song, so it's really interesting. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And this is a picture of me joining also like the annual NTU International Student Singing Competition, held by the Malaysian Student Association. It was really, really interesting. And I'm also joining it this year. So, and that's it for my experience in NTU.
Okay, hi, I'm Yarnis from the Office of International Affairs. Then I will be introducing the process for applying the International Sophomore Entry Program. And our application is conducted online. You can find the application details and access the online application system on our website. So, who can apply for the International Sophomore Entry? You can first check your eligibility by scanning this QR code. The International Sophomore Entry is available only to the students who are qualified as an international student in accordance to the MOE regulations. So there's two types of students. First one is the student who is studying for a bachelor degree in Taiwan. Okay, He or she must be an international student that's enrolled in an undergraduate program in University of Taiwan and must completed at least 2 semesters of undergraduate study in University of Taiwan before enrolling at NTU. And if they had graduated from the university in Taiwan, they are not eligible to apply for it. So next is the student that is studying for a bachelor degree at a foreign university. They have to be completed at least 2 semesters of undergraduate study before enrolling at NTU. So please note that admitted student will be considered as second-year student upon enrollment at NTU regardless of the number of academic years they have completed and their previous university. Next, let us talk about their credit transfer. Admitted students can transfer up to 50 credits to NTU. So, for the credit transfer, all waivers have to be received and approved by the Office of Academic Affairs and the relevant academic departments. Students should submit their credit transfer application before the start of the semester, and the approved transfer credit will be issued before the start of the academic year. So, for the further details, you can scan the QR code here and just reach out the Office of Academic Affairs for the procedures. So, next one, and I will show you the website. Okay, this is our website regarding international sophomore entry. And in this website, you can get the application information and included the list of the available programs here and the information regarding the credit transfer and some important dates and deadlines. And there are some admission guidelines here. You can just click this website and get the admission guidelines. And this is a required documents by the department and any required documents. And because you have to create an account, so this is the application procedures for your reference. So I would like to share the list of the available programs. So you will get this website. So firstly, you can choose the college that you are interested in and just click some. And this is the available programs in the college, and I can click this Department of Economics for reference. You can get the program info here and the application requirements here. So this is list out like this is the language of instruction and the minimum language proficiency requirements, and some departments may have recommend language skills. And this is the application documents that are required by the department, and there are some like some department maybe will require some oral or interview exam. So this is the reference for you for the available program. So next, we can back to the PowerPoint. So now is the language proficiency requirements. So just I mentioned just now, there are some departments may require some language proficiency. So for the minimum requirements, if you applying for the programs that's conducted in Chinese, you will need to submit a Chinese proficiency certificate as the FRA2, which corresponds to level 2 in TOEFL and level 4 in HSK. And if you apply for the programs that conducted in English, so you will need to submit an English proficiency certificate as the FRB2. And these are the some of the acceptable English certificates. For more details, you can refer to the chart that I showed you earlier. So there's also some exemptions from submitting the language proficiency certificates, and that's it. You can just search for more details in our website. So the next one, now I would like to introduce about the application process. First, you need to create an account. So, and just fill in all your personal information. You can select up to 5 departments. If you receive more than 1 admission offer, you can only choose 1 department to enroll in. Next, you will need to upload all the required documents such as academic credential, personal statements, proof of language proficiency, financial statement, recommendation letter, and so on. So next, you will need to pay the application fee. Once you have completed all the steps, please submit the application before the deadline. Some departments may require oral or written examination or interviews. If so, just wait for the notification from their departments. So let us see about the application timeline. The application already starts. It starts at 3rd of March and will end on 31st of March. And the application result will be released on 15th of May. The undergraduate programs must be completed within 4 to 6 months, depending on the duration of study set by each department. And the tuition fee per semester for the department is fall within this range. And you can refer to the latest information on the website of Office of Academic Affairs for the actual fees for each academic year. So next, let's take a look at the estimated cost of living per semester. The estimated cost includes their books, housing that is shown just now on campus, and their national health insurance, living expenses. By understanding this estimated cost, you can better plan for your time at NTU.
Hello everyone, it's me Jason again. So right now I'm going to share about my application tip and preparation strategy to all of you guys. So first of all, as you know, like NTU have like many college and many department of it. And like first of all, I would say you must know what department that you want to transfer. Your goal must be clear. Do not just like apply for the sale or apply just for sale. But I want to get into NTU. Because like a lot of time during your application, it's like quite sure the professor can tell that like do you know what's your goal or not. So that's one key point about how the professor judge you. Second, when you're writing your CV or autobiography, whatever you call, and study and plan, I like to use this method that I normally write for when I'm writing my paper. We call KISS method. We call it K is simple and short. Do not write too long. Write the important thing and and K is simple and short. And how do I say it? So let me show you guys some examples. So this was a autobiography I write years ago to apply for like my previous university. It was like I got this inspiration from my sister that time, but it was like a lot of like storytelling, talking about my life story. Why do I want to study at Taiwan? Everything. It's like too long. It's about like 5,000-6,000 words and two page. And it was not actually after that when I really get into Taiwan, I got to meet some Taiwanese friends who have like who their family was professionally teaching people how to write all this like autobiography. They told me that writing like this is not recommended unless like in certain department. That's why I think at the same time I say you have to know your goal. What's your goal? What's they are aiming for? What they are want from you. So, but as for my case, I'm coming from like a science research department. Normally, they don't want like this kind of what we call grandmother story. What they would like was like something much more simple and easy. So, something I looked at it, but I will get to that later. So first thing first, I said you keep it simple and short, just a one page. Maybe it's possible like you do like your motivation. Your motivation on transfer is really important when you're writing an autobiography. Because to be honest, like a lot of department, they might want to know why do you want to transfer from uni instead of like why who are you or whatever you think, because they know you already been to Taiwan or you've been to other university, but why the sudden change? The sudden change of it is really important, and it's possible if you could tell them some of like your knowledge or preparation for the department you're going to. For example, I'm going to go to vet, so I could say about something I have like huge love on animal. That I have like studied some animal related classes in my previous department before, and like what's my what kind of resources I could get if I get to NTU. That's quite important for the motivation. Then secondly is like this part of my slide is like talking about your trade. What about your what kind of skill set you have or what kind of like, life experience you have. You have to summarize it. To be honest, I could design it much more better, but I was in a rush. That's why I using a point of form. But yeah, definitely if when you are applying, you could you can do more design, make it look nicer, easier for like all those people who like go through your document to see. And why I said all this is important, because like even though some of the department I believe they go through some interview, but like for my department they didn't. So most of the time, the professor from that department, all they can know about you is from this piece of paper. So you have to make it easier, like a KISS method, and let them really easy. Or no, most of the time they just go through their eyes and like, oh, okay, next one, like that. So you have to summarize it. Then talk a little about the study plan. The study plan sometimes I saw some people from my Malaysian friend, they also write like a really long essay talking about how their first year, second year, third year, fourth year coming up through it. I would say it's be better for you to just like design a bit a structure and like make sure you are clear on your goal. And like yes, again I say easy to read. So in the case of mine, I try to summarize it into like three parts of my life at NTU. I call it like the early stage, the midterm stage, and the late stage. And like try to compromise all the thing on these three parts and tell them what I'm planning to do. It's like much more easier and I'm much more clear about my goals. And obviously, and the last, be confident of yourself when you apply. Don't have too much hesitation. Like if you have too much hesitation, nothing gonna be happen. So just be confident yourself that you can do it. All right. So that's about my presentation. Thank you a lot. So now let's pass the session to Sharon.
Hello, it's Sharon again. Okay, so I will be sharing some application tips, like based on my own experience back then when I applied. So back then, because I already sort of like planned my transfer application long before that transfer application actually opened. So I would say like, I don't know like in which year you guys are in right now, but I would say yeah, I mean, it is important to start early, but also if we're not able to start early, but we feel like we're already ready, we have like everything, it is possible to definitely do it like within just a month or close to the deadline, as long as we have the documents already. But again, I would really suggest to start like as early as possible, like right now, or because I feel like ideally it should be, you know, several months before, but if it's already like near the deadline, like as of now, because the deadline's somewhere like I think end of March, right? So that is also okay. So what you can do now, I think, is to start researching about the application procedures, basically, like for example, by joining this sharing session. That's also really good because you'll be more clear of the steps of the procedures, the application procedures, and then research your programs. Again, just like what Jason mentioned, like you need to know your goal, you need to know the programs that you want to apply to in NTU, and be very specific. You need to try opening their website too, and see what like specifically what are like what are the things that make your program like unique, like why do you want to apply to that program. We need to be as detailed as possible, and also the required documents. So make sure we know the required documents, like the CV, in Jason's case the CV, but in my case back then we didn't need CV. We had, I think, personal statement. We had to write a personal statement essay, and we had to write a study plan. Right. And then I also didn't need to submit a recommendation letter back then, but some departments require recommendation letters. So again, starting early would also, you know, help a lot, because recommendation letters, in this case, if the department you're applying to requires recommendation letters, you'll need to ask your professor to prepare the recommendation letter for you, right? So that is also something to prepare and to start as early as possible, because it takes time, I think, when it comes to recommendation letters. But again, not all departments require a recommendation letter. And then do our research, gather information about the programs, and then if possible, if you know someone in NTU, that's also, I think that would be a plus, because back then before I transferred, I also sort of like got in touch with another NTU international Indonesian student too, who was studying in mathematics. So I just asked him like, how is it there? You know, how is studying in the department? What are I just asked like for his experience so that I could know more of what I'm applying to, something like that. And then next, preparing the documents. Again, this is also really, really important, because when we're transferring through this application, it's just, again, like what Jason mentioned, it's just like paper. There's no interview. I mean, at least like our departments didn't require interviews, but I think maybe some departments might need interview. But yeah, I would say generally if no interview is needed, like maybe interview is optional. So generally interview is not needed. So we need to present ourselves like in the best light possible, like on just a piece of paper, on our personal statement, on our study plan and autobiography. Some departments require this too, autobiography. And we need to also be very clear, I think, but very clear of the differences between what a study plan is, what a personal statement is, and what an autobiography is, because they may sound very similar, like personal statement, autobiography. What are the differences between them, right? We need to be clear with that. So back then, all I did was I just did a lot of research, and I saw like a lot of sample papers, like sample autobiography, sample personal statement that helped me a lot with like writing my essays. And then, yeah, not all programs require recommendation letters. So every program may have different requirements. Again, just like in economics, you know, like calculus, I think back then they also had that requirement, like we have to already take calculus to be able to apply for the transfer program. So that's also something that we need to pay attention to, right? We need to read the different requirements of every program. Okay, and then I have some essay writing tips here. So research sample essays, right? Like what I mentioned before. We need to understand the content of the essay. We need to know what the essay is. Actually, autobiography, that's more like our life as a whole. Something like maybe it's similar to CV, but study plan is different. Study plan is like your plan, your academic plan in NTU, something like that. And we need to be as specific as possible. It is important, like we need to be specific about why we choose a specific, why we choose a program based on our own experiences and our own profile. Like if we're too general, everyone else can be general. Like for instance, oh, I want to apply for the Department of Economics because it is one of the best departments of economics in Taiwan, for instance. I would say other applicants would be able to also mention the exact same thing. So that's too general. I would say be more specific. It has to align with your passion and has to align with like what your goal is, what you really want. So we need to be very specific about the reasons why we want to apply to apply to our chosen departments. And then proofread is also important. Once you've written your essays, it's important to proofread, obviously, like over and over, and watch out for repetitions, because it happens a lot to me, like repetitions. I've already mentioned one point in like one paragraph, and then I mentioned it again like in the second paragraph. Repetitions are not very good. Just keep it short, otherwise it would be like too lengthy too. And then grammatical errors, watch out for them, because I think it would just like make our essays look better, without the errors. It also gives like a better impression of us. And also we need to pay attention to like the essay's coherence and like the unity, make sure that it has a structure, right? Like we can't just like write whatever that comes into our mind, like our train of thought, something like that. It's really important to just first write the structure of the essay before actually writing the essay, and then we can write like drafts of the essay and then keep editing the essay until we feel like it's done. And also we can ask help from other people, like from a friend, for example, or a family member, or maybe a mentor who can like help you give some suggestions for your essays, like what they think about your essay, so on and so forth. And then, yeah, the important resources, as like mentioned before, like you need to be very, I would say, familiar with the website of NTU International Sophomore Entry, and also the admission guidelines. Make sure you've read this very thoroughly, and then you don't miss a single point, because it's very important. Everything is in the guideline. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in NTU. And this is also my email if you guys want to contact me. When I shared like my experience before last year, I found like a few people contacting me, so that's really nice. It shows that you guys are like interested in like knowing like what life is like at NTU. So if you guys are interested, you guys feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to help. So thank you.
Okay, so later will be our like 30 seconds later will be our QA session. So now if you haven't joined Slido, please scan the QR code here and join us at Slido to ask your questions. So for the first one, they are selecting 50 people this year, but if there are fewer applicants, will I still be selected even I didn't complete the prerequisite subjects? For this one, the admission decision actually made by the admission committee. They will review all the documents that you are submitted and make the final decision. Okay, so next one. May I ask if this sophomore entry program has any kind of scholarship when we apply? For this one, there's no entry scholarship for sophomore entry student, but you can apply for the scholarship for current student after you admitted. So next one. I know that calculus is a prerequisite for transfer to economics. I learned calculus in high school, but it's only calculus recognized in university. Actually, if your high school transcript have the subject of calculus, you can just add it as an supporting documents to your transcript with the transcript in your university. So next one, if so, I'm planning to apply next year. Do I have to complete it at my current university or can I complete it through the credit bank system? Actually, for this, just mentioned before, for the student who would like to apply for the international sophomore entry, you have to be studying for a bachelor degree or undergrad program in a university. So next one, what should the format be for personal statement and study plan? If you would like to apply for the English taught program, the personal statement and study plan and the other documents must be in English. So there's no restriction of format or content for this personal statement and study plan, but you can just tag the student just now what to say for the reference. So next one, am I allowed to apply if I am in my second year? So just now I mentioned that if you would like to apply for the international sophomore entry, you have to complete at least 2 semesters before you enroll at NTU. So next one, what should my grade point average be? So NTU doesn't have any minimum GPA or any result for it. All students are welcome to apply. Next one, I'm a second semester student and I'm planning to apply to this sophomore entry program next year. When I got accepted, that is mean I'll be starting as a second semester student. So regardless what year you are from, you are considered as a second sophomore student for first semester. Okay. Hello, does anyone have experience from like sophomore entry from a foreign university? Yes, we have the sophomore entry student from US. So I'm confused about their period of study. Can you explain it further, especially the month? And Jason will take this question.
All right, for the period of study, it will highly depend on the department you took. Like most of the department is like a 4-year period of study. And normally for the program, you'll come out in the 4th semester. But to be aware, some department is like 5 years, 6 years.
Okay, thank you. And next one. Is volunteer hours and general education hours or courses required as a graduation requirement? Can it be transferred from my current university? And
Okay, so I'll be answering this question. So volunteer hours, if you mean volunteer hours as in like service learning, something like that, like the labor education, yes, it can be transferred from your current university, but then like in my case, I also transferred my service learning credits. Actually, it didn't have any credits, but it was like prerequisite also. Sorry, it is required for us to graduate. and then it can be transferred. But it depends on how many semesters of service learning that you took. Because in my case, I took 2 semesters of service learning in my previous university, but I could only transfer 1 semester of service learning. I don't know why. It depends, I think. It really depends on whether or not it gets through the credit transfer. Like it gets accepted, something like that. And then general education hours, as in like the general education, like liberal education, right? If you mean liberal education, I think it is possible to transfer them, but in my experience, I didn't get to transfer my credits for general education, but I did transfer my credits for general elective courses. So they're kind of different from liberal education, right? And then yeah, some of these courses are required as for graduation. It depends on each department, on every department.
Okay, thank you. Next. Since we are entering year 2, how will we do the year 1 courses for the selected program?
For this question, it's a bit tricky. But normally for most year 1 courses, it's like a general subject, like for example, chemistry, calculus, physics. More of this subject, when if you are already finished your 2 semester on your previous university, you come here, it's possible for you to like transfer the credit. But for other like specific course from the department, you have to plan it out because you have to take it together on year 2 or even year 3. So all my advice for you was like, if possible, try to check out like your course for year 2, year 3, or even year 4, and plan out your timetable according, including the year 1 courses will be better.
Okay, thank you. Do you need to pay the full tuition fee first before the school year start? Okay, just generally the tuition fee will be paid before the semester start, but if you get admitted, you will receive more information regarding the tuition fee payment. Okay, are there any special instructions to fill the application? Like we should use bold letters? So the application is conducted online, so you have to fill in all your personal information in the application system. Yeah. So next one, I want to apply for biotechnology and food nutrition program, which is more dominating biology or chemistry, and what would be the percentage? Okay, so for this, you have to submit all your transcript. And regarding the dominating biology or chemistry, it's actually up to the admission committee. What do we study in political science international relation program? So you can see the program info and courses by their website I showed you just now regarding the program info and application requirements. For dorms, how will the roommate arrangement be? Will I be grouped by both locals and international students?
Okay, so I'll be answering this question. Yes, there's a possibility like to be grouped with other international students and with the Taiwanese locals as well in like the general dorms. And there are also like many different types of dorms, right? Like the 4-people room dorms, there are like 3-people room dorms in the Prince dorms, and like 2-people room dorms in the Kuching dorm and also in the Prince House dorms, and like a single bed dorm in the Prince House dorms too. So it depends on like which dorm you apply for and you get. So but yeah, there is a possibility to be grouped with like international students and also the locals.
Okay, thank you. Next, hi, does the veterinary medicine require recommendation letter and interview?
During my year of application, it doesn't really need any recommendation letter and interview. However, does it change or not? I still think you must check the requirement for this year.
Yes. Okay, so you have to check the application requirements regarding the recommendation letter and interview at the website. So next, what would happen to a student who had gotten MOE scholarship if he or she transferred? So for the people who get their MOE or MOFA scholarship, yes, you can transfer the scholarship, but according to the guidelines of the scholarship, you have to inform your current university if you get admitted. Next, I'm currently studying for A-levels and would like to know the academic requirements for veterinary medicine. So you have to study at a university and at least complete for 2 semesters before enrolling at NTU. So regarding the academic requirements, actually is this. So as for my previous question, so when I got accepted by the program, does it mean I'll be an international first year student? Does it mean I restudy everything? For this international sophomore entry, if you get accepted to the program, you are considered as a sophomore year student. Can I submit my high school calculus certificate for admission to the economics department, or can I learn calculus after admission? So for the high school calculus certificate, you can submit as a supporting documents. And after get admission, I think calculus program is yes.
Yeah, you can take a calculus course, which is a required course in economics, and from last year onward, actually, or from 2023, if I'm not mistaken, we have to take calculus 1, 2, 3, 4 for economics department. Before it was 1, 2, 3 only, but now there's more there are 2 more credits for calculus, so in total 4 calculus courses.
Okay, thank you. And next, how much support is provided for sports? I think this is regarding the sports and their student clubs or so.
For sport, right? So generally, you must take 4 sport courses during your 4 years or 5 years in university. One is a general, 3 will be a specific. But in terms of you say support, I'm presume you are saying about school team. In NTU, there's actually a lot of school team. As for my knowledge, there's even archery, basketball, football. Also, I think the most famous was what was it called? Baseball, yeah, baseball especially. The school did provide a lot of support as for my knowledge, right? But this all this will depend on the school team how they function everything. I would say if you're really interested on this, do give a research on a school team for NTU. They might give a lot of information about it.
Okay, thank you. So next, what type of TOEIC and IELTS do I need to take? TOEIC, then there are listening and reading, speaking and writing. IELTS, there are general and academic. So for TOEIC, the listening and reading is acceptable, but you have to see the requirements from different departments. And for the TOEIC, you have to take the public program TOEIC. And for the IELTS, you can take the IELTS actually is general as you say. So next one, I'm currently in my 2nd semester in my current university. My 2nd semester result will be out only by June. So can we submit just the 1st semester result? So for this one, you have to submit your 1st semester result and up to the semester you get from your university transcript and the 3-year from your high school. What is the acceptance rate for sophomore entry? Actually, there's no any acceptance rate. Actually, is different regarding all the academic years. So next one, does this admission program accept application for associate degree in Hong Kong? Actually, the international sophomore entries accept the associate degree, but if your degree is receiving from Hong Kong, you have to check your institution is on whether it's on the list of the Hong Kong. You can check it at our academic requirements on our website. So can I enroll and take classes without submitting a calculus credit? So I mentioned before, the admission committee will review all the document you have passed up. And for some departments like economy, actually the calculus is the required documents as a prerequisite documents. Okay, the last one. To my previous question, are there any school teams for tennis?
I believe there is, but I can't really be sure. But I do know there is some sport teacher. He used to represent Taiwan in kind of like tennis competition in World. So I cannot be 100% sure, but I still recommend you to search it out for sure. But I think there is, yes.
Yeah, you can search this like tennis club NTU.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last one. So by when I can submit my second semester results, since by June the application will be closed. So I mentioned just now for applicants who have not completed 2 semesters of study in their undergraduate programs, by the time of the applications, please submit the full high school transcript of the final 3 years along with the undergraduate transcript. So it's the Q&A for today. Thank you for listening us and good luck for your application. So if you have any question, you can welcome email us on this INT.Admission@NTU.edu.tw, and welcome follow our Instagram and YouTube to get more information. Thank you. Bye bye.